A federal judge in Boston did not make a decision Thursday on whether a Tufts University Ph.D. student taken into custody by Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents can challenge her detainment. Surveillance video from March 25th captured the moment Rümeysa Öztürk was surrounded by plainclothes agents on the street before being taken away. A senior spokesperson for the Department of Homeland Security told CBS News Thursday that Öztürk was found to have engaged in activities in support of the Hamas militant group. Her attorneys argue her detention stemmed from an op-ed she co-wrote in the school newspaper, which called for Tufts to divest from companies connected to Israel and acknowledge Palestinian genocide. Tufts University is calling for her immediate release. Öztürk was moved to Vermont before a judge ordered authorities to keep her in Massachusetts. She was then sent on a plane to a detention center in Louisiana before Thursday's hearing. CBS News immigration and politics reporter Camilo Montoya-Galvez joins us now for more. Camilo, tell us more about the hearing and what's next in Öztürk's case.
Well, the Trump administration was in federal court yet again today, Lindsay, to defend its efforts to go after foreign students on college campuses who officials say have engaged in pro-Hamas activities or who have expressed views that are pro-Hamas. Of course, the Department of Homeland Security has made these allegations against several students, including Mahmoud Khalil, and also in this case, but has yet to present concrete evidence that actually demonstrates and supports the claims that these students provided material support to Hamas or provided any sort of assistance to that terrorist organization. In this case, the judge was hearing a question about jurisdiction. This woman is now being detained in Louisiana, just like Mahmoud Khalil, in a detention center there that is also a staging ground for deportations to other countries. And her lawyers are arguing that the only reason that ICE sent her there was to get her away from lawyers and also to forum shop and get her in front of a judge that would be unfriendly and unsympathetic to her case. So they want her to be transferred back to Massachusetts. The judge will now decide that question. But in the meantime, a ruling from the same judge that heard the case today will bar ICE and prohibit them from deporting Ms. Öztürk.
Okay. Camilo Montoya-Galvez, thank you so much. Citra Mahfouz joins us now. She's a staff attorney for the ACLU Immigrants' Rights Project and is a part of Rümeysa Öztürk's legal team. Citra, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
When are you expecting to hear the judge's decision on the jurisdiction issue? And once that happens, is there then another legal fight to focus on whether she's unlawfully detained?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked. So right now, this is the first step in making sure that we are making sure that she stays in Massachusetts, where her community is, where her legal team is, and comes back to away from Louisiana. Excuse me.
So a senior DHS spokesperson told CBS News Thursday Öztürk was found to have, quote, engaged in activities in support of Hamas, a foreign terrorist organization that relishes the killing of Americans. What is your reaction to these allegations?
I mean, the government has been asked about the basis of Ms. Öztürk's arrest, and it is abundantly clear by all accounts that the sole basis of her arrest seems to be, and her arrest, her detention, her targeting seems to be the single op-ed that she co-authored in her university newspaper at Tufts. And I encourage everyone to read this article. There's nothing in there other than protected free speech. And she calls upon her universities to stand up for the equal dignity of all people. This is clearly, a pattern that we're seeing of the government to punish one's speech, to chill people's speech, certainly to her, and certainly to punish the speech and chill the speech of others who are watching what's happening right now.
How is Rümeysa Öztürk holding up right now?
She's scared. I think anyone in her situation would be scared. She cares deeply about her education. Her future right now is uncertain. And I think she also is very concerned about what this means for other students as well, right? Because she knows that what can happen to her can happen to anyone else as well. She's scared, but we're going to do everything that we can to make sure that this injustice is rectified.
I'm glad you brought that up because Öztürk's case is one of several in which someone was detained based on the Immigration and Nationality Act. And the law states, quote, an alien whose entry or proposed activities in the United States, the Secretary of State has reasonable ground to believe would have potentially serious adverse foreign policy consequences for the United States is inadmissible. And Secretary Rubio has been vocal about this. Here's what he said last week.
This is clearly an organized movement, and if you are in this country on a student visa and are a participant in those movements, we have a right to deny your visa. They're not here to lead activist movements that are disruptive and undermine our universities. I think it's lunacy to continue to allow them.
What's your reaction? Do they have a right here?
No, I mean, the First Amendment protects everyone, right, regardless of their citizenship status. The government cannot simply, arrest, detain, and threaten the legal status of people who share views that they might disagree with. That is not, my opinion. That's what the Constitution says, and it's an affront, really, to our most basic civil liberties. And I think anyone who cares about the First Amendment will care about this.
And this is part of your legal argument as well, right? I mean, do you believe that this will eventually potentially be argued all the way up into the Supreme Court to settle this?
We hope to find a resolution as soon as possible.
Sidra Mahfouz, thank you for your time.
Thank you.